lifetime access to all these videos. You are open to ask any queries. So during the session, please be on mute. However, if you have any queries, please unmute yourself and ask the queries. Okay. So now let us go through the course curriculum, the list of topics which we are going to cover as part of this training, and then we'll start the demo. Whenever you have any queries, please unmute yourself and ask the queries. Thank you. So let me share my screen. Please let me know once you can view it. Hope my screen is visible to all of you. So coming to the course content of this exclusive training, that is performance testing real-time project with JMeter. The topics which we are going to cover, first and foremost, we will go through the performance test life cycle. So what are the different phases in performance testing, and I'll tell you the details about each and every phase. Some of you might already know this phase, but I want to brush up your skills, and the way I'll be going to explain you the different phases, it will be a good learning experience for you as well. And because some people would also be, you know, new who have already worked on JMeter, but they might not have worked on real projects. So this test lifecycle overview will give you that clarity that how we are going to proceed during this training. Okay. So I'll explain what is the performance testing life cycle and the walkthrough for that. Then for each of the phase, right? So first we will have basically for the different phases are like requirement gathering, then test design, right? Then test execution, test reporting. So we are going to gather the non-functional requirements. For functional testing, you will get the functional requirements. For non-functional testing, you will get the non-functional requirements. So how the non-functional requirements will look like, how you will gather those non-functional requirements, we are going to see that. Then once you get the non-functional requirements, what are you going to do? What are your next steps, right? So if any one of you are acquainted with testing terminologies, there is a term known as static testing. Many people in the industry are not aware of it. Okay, so what is static testing? I'm going to explain you. And what do you mean by static testing of non-functional requirements? That also I am going to explain, and we are going to do that. We are actually during this training, each and every topic will be hands-on. We are going to go through that. We are going to implement that. You just think that this is a project which we are going to implement and deliver. So we'll give you real non-functional requirements with respect to the application. Then we have one application, right? Exclusive to Isha Training Solutions. So we are going to view or understand that application flow and what is the architecture of that application. Okay. Then once we understand that, we will, like, once you do the static testing of NFRs, what are the different phases, I'm going to explain you what are your next steps. Then we are going to finalize the NFRs and the business flow, which will be in scope of our performance testing. Clear all of you? Whatever NFRs, whatever business flows will be in our scope for performance testing, that we are going to look into. Then the comes the test strategy and plan documentation. We are going to document. So based on the NFRs, based on the business flows, whatever we have got, we are going to do the documentation for our non-functional test strategy and non-functional test plan. Then the workload model design. This topic is very, very important, guys, which many people in the industry are also not clear of. I'm going to explain you in such a way that you are going to clearly understand it and implement in your projects. Next, the once you document the test strategy, test plan, you have to walk it through with the customer. So that walkthrough also we are going to do here. Okay, I will show you as if I am presenting the test strategy, the test plan to the customer. So I'll show you how to do the walkthrough of the test strategy and plan. Then there is a phase known as test tool feasibility analysis. So which performance test tool is going to be compatible with our application, that we have to check. So that is known as test tool feasibility analysis. That particular thing we are going to implement. And as this training is based on JMeter, we are going to use the tool JMeter. So we'll first of all see whether JMeter is compatible for our application or not. That we will check. Okay, and then we will see if it works or not. And then we are going to install the tool, the JMeter tool, and do the proof of concept. Okay, and then we are going to set up our performance test environment. Test environment setup is very, very important. We are going to set up our performance test environment for your projects. How you are going to do that, that also I'm going to explain. And then once our test environment is set up, once our tool is installed, once we have understood the business flow, the application flow, we are going to do the test script development for the scenarios which are in our scope of performance system. Okay, we are going to develop the test scripts. Now this test script development phase will include all the different enhancements which we do, right? Like parameterization, correlation, authorization, so many things, guys. Okay, and then I'm also going to show you how to handle the security question and answers, because in our application security question and answers are also involved. Then we are going to see how to understand the test data requirements. Now in functional testing, very less amount of test data is required, but in performance testing, large amount of test data is required. So we are going to see how we need to evaluate what are the requirements for test data. And then once our test data is done, we'll go to the test script dry run. Okay, why the dry run is required, that I'm going to explain you. Okay, so we'll do the dry run. And once we do the dry run, there are different types of performance tests like load test, stress test, right? So we are going to design our test scenario based on which we can conduct our load test, based on which we can conduct our stress test. Understood, everyone? I'll take a pause here. Any queries anyone till now?
Yes, I have one query.
Yeah.
Like, uh,
Yes, please.
like I do not have query in topic wise, but I have a requirement. Like, I have experience in mobile testing. So, is there any difference in performance from mobile side? Likewise,
Means you want to understand the process how to do the mobile performance testing, or the steps in a project.
yes. So, from very beginning, like how performance testing is done in from mobile side,
Yeah.
that I wanted to
Okay.
understand.
See, if you understand these topics, you will be acquainted how you are going to work in a performance testing project, and this will be based on web applications, right? Same concept, same process, all the phases will remain the same for your mobile application performance testing also. Instead of web application, you just have to do mobile application. Okay,
Okay.
but yes,
Okay.
as you have a requirement, I'll cover that as well in my. So I have a list of bonus topics also, guys. Okay, in addition to our regular topics for the real-time performance testing with JMeter, I'm going to provide you some additional bonus topics which are also, in the current trends. I'll come to that. Okay, but yes, these processes will definitely be required for your mobile application performance testing also. Okay,
And one
only
more
thing
question:
is the, yeah, tell me.
what is the prerequisite? Like I'm having major in functional testing, only manual testing. So, do any automation prerequisite required?
Automation prerequisite is not required, but are you aware of JMeter?
No, no. I am very beginner in performance testing.
Okay. JMeter knowledge is actually required for this training. It is a prerequisite for this training.
Okay, so you will not cover the JMeter part.
No, for JMeter, I have a separate batch running. So that is a separate course provided by Isha Training Solutions, because learning the tool itself is a you know uh, lengthy training. So yes, for this JMeter is actually a prerequisite. If you know the basics, that will also work. Because anyways, I'm going to cover also, like, because that will be required mostly during your test script development. So with that, I think you should be able to cope up.
Okay, meaning for JMeter only the beginner level required,
Yes,
not the
for the
expert.
beginner level, yes, very advanced is not required. Beginner level in JMeter will do.
Okay.
Because during the test script development also I am going to show, right, what all things has to be done. So that also I'll explain you the need of what is the need of each of those components in JMeter. How are we going to do that? So when I do the test script development, you will be able to come to know.
And one more question. I have a Mac system, so it is compatible for the system wise now for the performance testing.
Yeah, performance testing can be done on Windows, performance testing can be done on Linux, performance testing can be done on Mac. But during this training, our application is hosted on Linux servers, and the load generator, basically the machine from where I'm going to inject the load, will be from a Windows machine. Okay,
Okay.
so you have that view, like, yes, from Windows also we can test the applications which are hosted on Linux, etc.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other queries, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, Hello, sir. I want to know that means I know about basic functionalities of JMeter like pre-processor, post-processor, listener, HTTP request, all that. So, if I want to do load testing, so this will be covered in this session or not?
Yes, yes. If you see, I told you, right, we will be designing the test scenario for load test and stress test, right? Then we will execute the load test also.
Okay, so it is for how many users?
That will see, means we will do the test with 100 users or 50 users based on the requirement, based on the non-functional requirement.
Okay,
We'll
non-functional
when
requirement.
see, with how many users you are going to do the test, that will decide on the application architecture as well as on your non-functional requirements, right? Now if the application will be able to support, let's say, 500 users, if you are trying to do a test with 5000 users, is that the correct approach? So that is a question also,
No.
right? With how many users
Mm-hmm.
you should be doing the test, right? So that
So,
question is also going to be answered during this training.
okay, sir. Means there is password verification and all that will be covered in that.
Authorization and all, right?
Authorization token and all.
Authorization, and then other critical
authentication.
scenarios. Yeah, all those things will be covered.
In this session, no?
As I
Or
as I as I, as I was telling you, security question answer, right? Security question is also a
hmm.
two-factor authentication, right? So how are you going to handle security question and answer? Those things also I'm going to show you.
For that purpose, we use CSV dataset config file. So means it is means I am able to do that course now, or I have to do advance
No, no, with that
course.
much now from you, what I can understand, you know about pre-processor, post-processor, CSV dataset config and all. You will be able
Yes.
to do this. You don't need advanced. Okay. It's
Okay, sir.
because I'm anyways going to cover like how to do the test script development and all, right? So you'll be able to understand. What happens
So I
is
don't
many
know.
people are out. See, what happens is many people are aware of the test tools, right? But when they face the interviews, the questions are more on the project level also, right? Nowadays, whatever is happening in the projects. Now, if you have never worked on any performance testing project earlier, but you have done a course on any of the tool, you have do not have the flavor of the project, you will not be able to answer the questions, right? So this training will give you the experience of a real project as well as the tool, right, which we are going to use, and you will get that experience. You will understand, okay, this thing is done, this particular task is done during this phase. You will be able to correlate it to a project, and you will be able to answer the interview questions correctly. This will help you in actually cracking the interviews, right? I hope you all agree with me.
Hello, sir. So
Actually,
just
sir, I
wanted
don't want to
to,
crack any interview, but
Tell me.
yeah, so just wanted to know कि here we are covering any scripting language.
No, scripting language is not as part of this course. Means I will be using some part of Groovy, I will be using some part of custom code to show some implementation, but the entire thing is being, as I told, for JMeter we have an exclusive training. In that we cover JMeter along with Groovy scripting. But yes, custom code I will be doing for some of the things which I'll be showing in the training.
Okay, so for that we are using a Groovy.
Yeah, in this case I'll be using Groovy.
Okay, got it.
hello, sir.
Yeah.
In my company, I want means I have to do testing for 50 users, load testing. So this course is for me or not?
Yes, this course is for you in that case.
Okay, okay, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Hello, this is Sarvesh. So, which tool you will cover for that execution live monitoring?
Yeah. Yes,
When
as
you will do
Dynatrace.
distributed testing,
yes, yes,
for no,
actually coming.
Dynatrace will show that server monitoring. I'm asking about execution monitoring.
Execution
It's like a
monitoring, we can, yeah. So for execution monitoring, we can use Grafana, okay. So, but we can also
Okay.
use Dynatrace as well. So if you integrate your JMeter with Dynatrace, you will be able to monitor all your requests which are coming from JMeter only. So that is my next topic here. That we are going to integrate JMeter with Dynatrace. In general, what Dynatrace will do, it will capture all the requests which are coming from any of the client to that server, right? But if we want to only you know detect the request coming from JMeter, that we can do with Dynatrace. But yes, in addition to that, we will do the live means the stats related to JMeter, right? The server side stats, the response time and all live monitoring we can do with Grafana as well.
Actually, purpose of doing this course for me is that I want to migrate my script from LoadRunner to JMeter. So I want to learn same features whichever we do in that LoadRunner controller. So will it be covered that every things will be
Yes, yes, that will be,
we will
yeah.
get to
So
do?
that
Yeah.
that yes, that see, in controller you design the test scenario for your execution, right? So same thing how you will do in JMeter, that will be covered as part of this test scenario design for load test and stress test. Clear?
Okay, so say like we when we run the in the controller, we used to get that errors how to trace which and during that suppose 4 hour
no.
test, if you want to trace that error, so the same thing can we do?
Same thing we can do. Same thing we can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarvesh, here actually in LoadRunner, we are using like controller and performance center to create the scenarios, no? So
Yes.
In JMeter only we can create the
Yes,
scenarios.
in
Okay.
JMeter itself,
Yeah.
we can create
Scenario
the scenarios.
creation, script creation is fine. So
No, no,
challenge is
scenario.
that running
No,
when we are running it, that time monitoring the test,
yes,
and what
we can do
when we have
we can do
when we have multiple scripts and monitoring which script is failing with what reasons.
yes, that
Those
see
things are
that
the
is
challenge. Yeah.
definitely, you see, load test execution and monitoring is there, right? So that we are going to see.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, any other queries? Okay. Then we come to the integration with Dynatrace. So in this training, you are not only going to learn how to implement your performance testing project with JMeter, as well as you are going to learn how to do application performance monitoring with Dynatrace. We are going to integrate our tests with Dynatrace, and then we will execute the load test and monitor it with Dynatrace. Once your execution, so during your execution, you will monitor your test as some queries were there, like if there are any errors, if you are getting your required TPS or not, right? All those things you are going to check. Then, once your test execution is completed, we will see how you can collect your load test results and do the analysis. This is very, very important, guys. Okay. Similarly, once our load test execution is done, we'll go to our stress test. Okay. So why we do stress test? What is the requirement and all? That those things we will see as part of this stress test execution. That also will monitor with Dynatrace, and then we will collect the stress test results, do the analysis. Then there is one more concept with JMeter known as distributed testing, or you might have heard about master slave concept. Okay, why that is used, how that is implemented, that I am going to demonstrate to you. Now all our execution is done, so then we will go to our test report preparation. Okay, once test report preparation is done, we will do the test report walkthrough with the customer, and then the test closure and sign up. So these are the different topics, different activities which we are going to conduct as part of this training. And then the topics which will come as an added bonus to all of you is, I'll explain you how you can do the effort estimations for performance testing. Now, in case you are working as a test lead, or you are working as a test analyst, or you are senior in the role, so how you can do the effort estimation, right, from a project delivery point of view. Nowadays, most of the projects are now running in agile. Previously, they were running in waterfall model. Now, how performance testing will fit into agile methodology, how you are going to do the performance testing in agile projects, that also I am going to cover. And now, most of the projects you will see that pipeline, you must have heard the terminologies pipeline, CI/CD, right? DevOps. So how currently the test execution is conducted using a pipeline. You do not have to do a test manually. So that I am going to show you. For that, you also need to understand what is versioning control. So I'll explain you how you can do the versioning control of your test scripts, and then how you will do the execution on the pipeline, and I'm going to demonstrate that also. And there is another topic, you must have heard about network virtualization, or bandwidth virtualization, or bandwidth throttling. I'm now, this is very much possible with LoadRunner, right? Now people ask, is that possible with JMeter? The answer is yes. So we are also going to see how to do test execution in JMeter with bandwidth throttling, and I'm also going to discuss about the different interview questions which will help you in getting to know what are the different questions being asked in interviews, so that you can clear them. So these will be the topics which we are going to cover as part of this training, which will, at the end of this course, you will be confident to deliver performance testing projects. I'll take a pause here. Any queries? Any?
How many days the training is going on?
Yeah, the training will be covered in 35 to 38 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, every
Daily one
so the
hour?
yeah, daily 1 hour only, because too much of training is also not good for health, right? Means you will not be able to digest.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so
Is it
we'll be,
weekdays or weekends?
no, it will be on weekdays, Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST.
Oh, okay.
The details
Uh,
will be shared in the group. Yeah.
if we miss any session, then how can we how
Yeah.
can we in backup classes?
Yes, so as I told you, each and every session, like today, you must have seen the demo session is getting recorded. So each and every session will be recorded, and you will be having lifetime access to the videos. During the training, if you miss any session, you so once today the session is completed, tomorrow morning itself the video will be shared with you all. You can go through that to match up with the missed sessions. Now once the training is also completed, in case you want to go back and refer, you will still be able to do, because you will be having the lifetime access to the videos.
And if we have any questions, we can ask in the next session, right?
Yes,
Queries.
definitely. In the same session, in the next session, after 2 sessions, up to you.
Okay, so just wanted to understand, like you will be covering from end to end performance, like what is the requirement?
Along with that, the bonus topics.
Yeah, and the add-on is that you will be covering mobile side as well. Yeah.
Yes, I'll cover. I'll also cover the mobile side as well. Means how to basically, what are the steps to develop. See, from a mobile application point of view, only the steps how to develop the script for web application and how to develop the scripts for your mobile application. That will only be different, right? Remaining all same thing you have to do. For API testing also, same thing you have to do. Only difference in each project is how you are developing the scripts. That's all. And remaining all other activities will be generic to each and every performance testing project. Yeah. Any other queries, anyone?
Oh, here, how many projects we are going to complete?
We are going to complete one project. Means basically, you just imagine that there is a new application which has been provided to us. We have to do the performance testing of that application based on the non-functional requirements given to us. So from end to end, means from beginning till the end, you get the requirements. Then what are the steps you do, as I told you. But again, we'll see like what all things you will do in our life cycle, right? If each and every activity of the performance test life cycle will be covered in this project.
Are we
And
going
this
to
is not any
do
sample.
like,
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, are we going to do here like a complex correlation and parameterization, or what, like it is
Yes.
simple only that?
It, no, no, we are going to do complex one, because this application is exclusive application of Isha Training Solutions. This is not any sample application which you will find on the you know internet. We have this application hosted on our servers.
Hi Chandra. So how many scripts are we going to do as part of this?
There will be 5 scenarios actually, so there will be 5 scripts for this.
Okay. And is LoadRunner knowledge enough to continue with this, or do I have to brush up with the JMeter basics?
If you can brush up your geometry basics, it will be helpful.
Okay.
You have like time. It means because we are starting with the activities and all. So when I start JMeter part, till the time you can brush up your JMeter skills. That will not be an issue.
Okay. Actually, I don't have prior knowledge of JMeter. I have only worked on LoadRunner. So, I mean, is that
Okay.
the course you mentioned is really needed, or can I straight
Yeah,
away go ahead
yeah.
with this?
The basics of JMeter will actually be required.
Okay.
Chandra, here, like LoadRunner basic and JMeter basic, like both are same or what? Like when
Yes, same.
I
See,
think the
the concept is
yeah, I
same.
think
The only difference is how you implement that in a tool.
okay. Like in this, how many sessions we are going to complete only like related to JMeter?
Related to
Any
JMeter.
guess?
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
like
Uh,
you see, like JMeter, so the test tool feasibility analysis we are going to do, right? The JMeter installation, then we are going to do the test script development with JMeter, then we are going to do the test scenario design with JMeter, we are going to integrate JMeter with Dynatrace, okay, and then the load test execution, stress test execution, distributed testing with JMeter, all those things we are going to see, as well as we are going to see how to do test execution with bandwidth throttling. And I'll also show you the steps for mobile application performance testing and the pipeline execution with JMeter.
Here, Dynatrace part, are we going to like doing deep dive into Dynatrace or like or else like only basic thing in Dynatrace part?
So, see,
Can you
Dynatrace,
please?
again, the topic is vast, right? With related to Dynatrace. For Dynatrace also we have an exclusive training. However, for during this training, I'm going to show you, because this is a web application, right? There are different modules, different tiers. So each and every tier, how to monitor with Dynatrace, that I'm going to show you, as well as how to integrate with JMeter.
Okay.
Any other queries, anyone?
Uh, Sir, this is Swayam. Actually, I do have a question. Like, I do have real-time experience of 9 years and total into manual testing. And thing is that I know the JMeter basics and all. So, like, whenever attending the interview, they are asking like the real-time questions, what you explained, what
Yeah.
are the scenarios and all. And at that time, which I
Yes.
got failed to answer to them.
Yes. So this
What are the
project, this
bottlenecks?
training,
What are the bottlenecks?
yeah, this training is definitely going to help you. As I told you, many people are taking the training on tools, but only the knowledge with tools will not able to help you to answer the questions in any interview or deliver the project also. Let's say for example, you, in case you cracked an interview also, right, with the experience of tool, but when you get to work in a project, you will face challenges. So this training will give you that real-time experience. And as I told you, it will not be theory, guys. It will everything. It will be hands-on. Everything we are going to work like as we are delivering a project. We will do the static testing. I'll share you the templates. I'll ask you also to do it from your side. Then test strategy documentation, test plan documentation, test script development. Okay, everything we will be doing hands-on this.
Thank you, sir.
I got it,
Thank you.
sir. For LoadRunner, we require some knowledge about C. So, do we require JMeter any other language to enhance
With
the skill
JMeter
and
you can, yeah, in JMeter you can implement custom code using Groovy, using Windshell, using Java, using JavaScript, using Jexel, whatever you are comfortable with. But as part of this we are going to cover, or we are basically going to implement some features as part of the custom code using Groovy.
using, sorry?
Groovy, that is a scripting language for
Okay,
Java.
Ruby. Okay.
G R
Are
O
we
O V
discussing
Y.
about that? Like, at least like from basic to intermediate level about that
No,
language?
so that actually is covered in my another training where I cover complete JMeter as well as Groovy scripting in JMeter. So some elements of that I'm going to demonstrate here.
So, Chandra, one question from my side, like, what will you suggest? Since I do not have experience in JMeter, I have very basic knowledge. So, is this course is beneficial for me, or JMeter knowledge is utmost required?
JMeter knowledge will be required for that. You can get in touch with my team or myself later, and there are videos available. Which means you can discuss with my team for that in case you need learning in JMeter.
Okay, so without JMeter, this course is
See, as
not
I told
beneficial.
you, basic knowledge on JMeter is definitely required. Without, if you do not know anything on JMeter, to be very frank, it will be difficult. But you will start JMeter after, you know, by after maybe 10-15 hours. So by that time, if you are able to know the basics, then this training is for you. But yes, basics of geometry is definitely required, and then because we are going to implement that. But yes, I'll be explaining that again, like what is the function of each and every element which I'm using. So yes.
So scripting language we know before starting this course, yeah?
Sorry.
Any scripting knowledge we required, yeah,
No,
before
you
taking
need
this
you
course?
no you need knowledge on geometry only.
Okay,
You need to have knowledge on geometry basics.
okay. So any other
Any
batch for the JMeter is going on, yeah, for
yeah, you
JMeter
can get
and
in
Blade?
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can get
tell
in
me.
touch with my team. So yes, there are batches running for geometry as well. So you can get in
Oh,
touch.
okay.
Hey, hi Chandra, this is Abhishek.
Yeah.
Chandra, I have a question related with the Dynatrace. Like as you said, there are the few points like integration with the Dynatrace and the node test execution. Apart from that, like there are two more topics are there. So do we? So these topics are sufficient to understand the Dynatrace part, or we need a other complete end-to-end Dynatrace like lecture for that?
Yes, it depends. It depends
Mm-hmm.
what is your requirement for Dynatrace. Now with Dynatrace again, there are different roles available. You must have heard
Yeah.
about
Mm-hmm.
site reliability engineer. A
Yeah.
site
Mm-hmm.
reliability engineer is different from a performance test engineer.
Okay.
Similarly, there is another role known as Dynatrace admin.
Okay.
Okay, I myself am a Dynatrace certified associate professional. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in for that you need entire knowledge on Dynatrace to clear that certification, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Similarly, in Dynatrace there are different topics, and based on your role you want to go into that particular topic. Now from a
Okay.
performance test execution point of view and
Mm-hmm.
application performance monitoring, whatever is required, that is going to be covered as part of this training.
Okay. Because I was already gone with the syllabus of Dynatrace from some other tutorials and all. So there are a lot of things like
Yes, as I
notification
told,
part and the yeah.
Dynatrace
Mm.
is a very vast topic. There are so many models. As I
Yeah.
told you, you can
Mm-hmm.
be a Dynatrace admin, so you can install Dynatrace for somebody, right?
Okay.
Now a performance test engineer does not want to know that. It is not required.
Okay.
Similarly, a site reliability engineer, he will deal with the operations of the environment. For him, some other topics of Dynatrace, but the application performance monitoring will also be required for him, right? So depending on the
Mm-hmm.
role, it will determine what you want to learn about Dynatrace. But yes, in this
Okay.
case, we are going to learn about the test execution monitoring, application performance monitoring with Dynatrace, and how to integrate Dynatrace with JMeter.
Okay. So Chandra, just last question. from my side. So now, like as of now, if you see from the company side, they are asking for the Dynatrace. So what
Okay.
specifically they are looking for? A
It
complete
depends.
Dynatrace?
No, no,
Yeah.
no. It is not like that. It
Uh-huh.
depends for which role you are getting. What is the job description? Whether it is a site reliability
Yeah,
engineer.
exactly. So,
So
like I was, sorry for the interruption. I was gone with some of the interviews, and they were looking for a tester only. But with
okay.
that, only the Dynatrace keyword I can say keyword is there.
Yeah. So then this training will be more than sufficient for you. If the
Okay.
JD is for
Mhm.
performance test engineer, keyword
Mhm.
Dynatrace is there. This will be sufficient
Yeah.
for you.
Okay. Okay. My doubt is completely clear now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chandra.
No problem. Any other queries? So now
Like,
let us get. Yeah, tell me.
yeah, one last question. Like, if we enroll it, then when it is starting the sessions?
These sessions that will be confirmed in the group. Most probably it will be started from tomorrow, but it will be you know confirmed in the group.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Chandra, in
Okay.
case of any confusion, we will connect you and your team, anyone,
Yes. Yes.
by
Definitely. You can.
tomorrow, maybe afternoon or
Yes.
evening.
So we have our WhatsApp group, right? In case you have
Yeah.
any queries related to the training or the content or any questions related to the administration side of it, you can get in touch with my team. In case you have any queries related to performance testing or whatever topics we are going to cover and all, you can definitely get in touch with me. Is that clear?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So now let us start our performance test lifecycle. Any other queries, anyone?
Sir, like this is how long will be the course duration?
Yeah, as I told you, this training will be covered in 35 to 38 hours.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Most probably 1.5 months.
Okay, sir.
So you might be getting that view like how much effort we are going to put in, right? So we are actually going to implement a project and deliver a project, right? So we have to devote some time to really understand that. See, my objective is you should gain something out of the training. Our focus should not be that we just come, deliver the training, go away. No. Out of the training, you should get some benefit which should help you in your career, right? That should be the objective, and that is my objective as well. Any other queries, anyone? So, now let us start with the topic. So, coming to the introduction, guys, okay, I'll show you some pointers. I'll show you some pointers. The day on which your exam results get published. In India, you all would be familiar with Tatkal ticket bookings, right, for trains. Similarly, the first big billion day sale of Flipkart. Now, what is special about this, or what is common about these points? The commonality is regarding these three things is that on this day or during this event, basically, the performance of the application is at stake, right? The performance of the application matters the most. Now, during our college days, we could see that on the day of the result publication, whenever we go and launch our results website, we'll always get 500 error or 503 service temporarily unavailable. Right? It is so difficult to get the results. Tatkal tickets, many people face challenges during payment. For some people, the website doesn't open during the Tatkal ticket booking. Right? Similarly, first big billion day sale of Flipkart was a failure because the servers crashed. Right? Then you see, I come to the next points. If I want to understand, will my infrastructure work in production? whatever infrastructure has been designed for my application, is that going to work in production? In case there is an earthquake, how will my operations happen from the data center? Now, for example, my data center is located in so and so location. There is a earthquake there. How do I operate from there? Okay. Next, can my application be hacked? Is there any data security breach in my application? Can any malware be introduced into my application? Okay, these are some pointers also related to some testing. Will my compatible be will my application be compatible with different browsers? Right now there are mainly like Edge, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and again with all these browsers there are different versions again. Each application will not behave the same on different browsers. There are different things again, right? Means they will behave differently on different browsers. Similarly, can my application be accessed by differently abled persons? Now you see, I have given you some pointers which tell me about different types of testing. Okay, these all pointers, they not only relate to performance testing, they relate to different types of testing, guys. Now the question is for you, what are these different types of tests? The answer to that is all these different tests or all these different points which I told, they belong to non-functional testing. You all would be thinking non-functional testing is only performance testing. No, guys. Performance testing is one type of non-functional testing. So there are different types of non-functional testing. Now, what is a non-functional testing? How different it is from functional testing? In functional testing, I am checking this is my input, this is my expected output. Means whether the functionality is working or not. Now sometimes if the functionality itself is working, but if the application is too slow, now if the application is slow, it does not mean the functionality is not working, right? The functionality is working, but nowadays the users using the applications are very impatient. They are very impatient. They cannot wait for the application to load. Similarly, if the application functionality is working fine, it does not guarantee you that if tomorrow earthquake comes, the application will still work, right? So it is not always about the functionality of the application only. It is also about the non-functional aspect, and this non-functional testing has so much demand in the market, guys. So the different points which I told, they relate to these different types of non-functional testing. So performance testing is one type of non-functional testing. Then I told you some points whether so the first points which I told you, Tatkal ticket booking, exam day results publication, Flipkart's first big billion day sale, right? They are related to performance testing. Then I told you whether my infrastructure will work in production, whatever infrastructure I have selected for my environments, whether that is going to work in production, or tomorrow if there is an earthquake in the location where my data centers are present, how will my application going to work, right? That will come under site reliability. That will come under site reliability. What happens? Let's say there is no earthquake, but my application goes down. What will happen? The functionality might be working, but if the application itself is not up and running, what will I do with the functionality? So the site reliability testing, it is otherwise known as the operational acceptance testing or operational readiness testing. Means my operations should be running successfully. Understood, everyone? Next, I told you, can my application be hacked? Is there a breach in the data security? Is there a chance that malware can be introduced into my application? That will come under the umbrella of security testing. Then I told you whether my application will be compatible with different browsers. So that we do as part of browser compatibility testing, right? Whether my application is going to be compatible with different browsers. That is my browser compatibility testing. Then I told you about, can the application be accessed by differently abled persons. So we are lucky that we are able to see the computer. We are able to see the applications. We can hear, we can see, right? But there are challenges with some people, right? They are differently abled. Now, they also have the right to access computer applications. They also have the right to learn computers, right? Now, you would be seeing that nowadays the applications are also designed in such a way that they can be accessed by specially abled persons. In countries like the US, in countries like the UK, there are specific rules that your application must comply with in order to be accessible by specially abled persons. For that also the application is tested, guys, right? Otherwise, how will you know whether that can be accessed by them or not? That comes under the umbrella of accessibility testing. So we have these different types of testing which belong to non-functional testing. Okay, which belong to non-functional testing. And we are going to focus on performance testing. Okay, so we are going to focus on performance testing. That is why the name of our project is Performance Testing Real-Time Project with JMeter. So with this, I'll end the demo session for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's session. Thank you all for joining. Are there any queries, anyone? Thank you all.